If I was in charge of the strategizing, the tactics of the Democrats' midterm plan, which I very much am not, nor will I ever be, I think the number one thing I'd push for is for Donald Trump to spend as much time as possible doing interviews, because not only is the guy's brain deteriorating faster and faster, but he's just saying stuff that I don't think helps him at all, including his continued crusade to deny the economic reality that more and more Americans are facing. Take a look at a clip from his recent interview with Laura Ingraham.
We're down on energy. We're down on interest rate. You know, interest rates are down despite the Fed. Now, if we had a normal person at the Fed would have really low interest rates, and we will soon have that. We'll have somebody that's.
And why are people saying they're anxious about the economy? Why are they saying that?
I don't know that they are saying. I think polls are fake. We have the greatest economy we've ever had. We will have over $20 trillion come into our economy, and it's largely because of my election, but it's also largely because of tariffs.
So again, that's Laura Ingraham. She wants him to win. She's loving it. She got tax cuts and everything, but like she also knows that her fans are hurting, so she kind of like has to acknowledge that a little bit. So why are people saying that they're hurting? They're not. The president says. I think polls are fake. Not those polls. Polls are fake. And so we were very critical for 4 years under Joe Biden of not doing enough to correct the economic issues, especially coming out of the pandemic, but also not doing a good enough job of messaging, making clear that people know that you feel their pain. He is not only not letting them know he feels their pain, he's directly denying their pain, not in some like an aide gave a quote to Caitlin Collins off the record. He's directly saying it to them on Fox News. It's not true. Everything's down. If you believe things are up, you are lying. You're a traitor, actually, for thinking that prices are going up, which is a bold strategy for a president, especially one who just went through maybe the worst set of elections of his first and second term. And so just a lot of lies come there. We're gonna be bringing in $20 trillion. So look, I think he's talking about the made up numbers of new business investment, where like a company's like, yeah, no, we're gonna do $1 trillion in new factories. And so he just counts that as a win or whatever. It could be that he's lumping it in with the supposed money coming in from the tariffs, which is just more tariffs, or there's just more taxes of the people who are watching that interview right then. So the whole thing it's a big old mess. And Laura Ingraham at least asked a good question there, but don't expect that that's gonna continue. She'll fall in line, don't worry. She's actually gonna try to pull him along by the hand into the talking points he wants to get to. But even if the polls are fake, according to him, he should probably pay attention to them because they are making a lot of news. 75% of Americans have reported rising prices as Trump continues to claim that inflation is over. US electricity bills have increased by 11% so far just this year. That's not a poll. That's just how much the electricity costs. And of course, layoffs are rising to recession-like levels. Now, on that, I'll give him a little bit of credit that he is dealing with that problem by trying to stop the labor numbers from coming out. Because like hearing that layoffs are rising and that job growth isn't happening, that's a big downer. So he can't actually fix the problem, but he can stop us from finding out about it. And he's been successful for a few months in doing that. But as I said, Laura Ingraham she did her little bit of journalistic work, but now she's gonna get back into helping out the president, which you'll see in this clip.
You've been all over the affordability issue today and for the last several months. Eggs, gas, a dinner cost for Thanksgiving way down, but other things, as you noted, have gone up. Beef, coffee, auto repairs. Is this a voter perception issue of the economy, or is there more that needs to be done by Republicans on Capitol Hill, or done in terms of policy?
More than anything else, it's a con job by the Democrats. Are you ready? Costs are way down. Gasoline is going to be hitting $2 pretty soon, or around $2. Gasoline is at $2.70 now, and it was at $4.50 under Biden, under Sleepy Joe. When gasoline comes down, when energy comes down, and everybody agrees energy is down.
Okay, so she's trying, and she's doing all of his narratives for him. Oh, the price of Thanksgiving is down. Remember that thing where like one specific package now has way less stuff in it and it's generic brands. She's just doing that. Yeah, she's given him that. And then he lies to her face. Again, here's what it is. It's a con job. Again, if you're watching that interview and you have been paying more, no, you haven't. You're lying to yourself. And more importantly, you're lying to Donald Trump. Please stop doing that. And so we're gonna turn to you, Jackson, in just one sec. But he mentioned energy being down, because when energy's down, everything's down. So gas is about to hit $2. $2. Well, Fox News ran this graphic, and it is true that gas is down from 308 on average a year ago to 307 now. It's a golden age, I think. But the thing about it, whether it's 307 or 308, it's not 450 under Biden at the end of his term. And it also is a pretty far cry from $2 a gallon, Jackson. What do you think?
Yeah, that $3.07 to $3.08 reminds me of the meme of the rich kid who's like, I took my father's 4.5 billion and turned it into 5 billion. Like, it's just such a significant drop. But I mean, honestly, Donald Trump drives me insane. Like, this dude drives me crazy because all he does is lie. Everything he says is a lie. And one of the reasons that he lies so much is because he doesn't know anything. He really doesn't, because if he did, then his lies wouldn't be so egregious. He would be able to at least lead people down a trail that makes sense. But when he's on TV, he just says things like, we got pharmaceutical prices are down 1,500, 1,400, 600, 700%. Like, he just lists all the numbers, all of which are impossibilities when it comes to sales and how those types of percentages work. But really, this is just unsustainable. We still got 3 years left of this, and the country is in the middle of a recession. It's not like, oh, we're gonna hit one soon. No, it's here. Prices are skyrocketing. People are losing their jobs. Businesses are closing down. Foreign powers are not buying our agricultural products, even if they chip in a little bit here and there. It's not looking good for the next 10, 20 years of just consistent revenue. This dude is literally destroying the country, and he hasn't even been in office for a full year yet. So it's really scary to think about what might come from the rest of his term, because it's still so much more of it.
Yeah, I think Joe Biden deserves a little bit of credit for a true political masterstroke, an amazing tactic, where we've had this pattern for multiple cycles now, where a Democrat holds the White House, does the hard work to juice up the economy, a Republican comes in and just coasts for a bit, hands over a bunch of money to billionaires, and then it all falls apart, and then we repeat the cycle. But Joe Biden is cleverer than Bill Clinton and Obama before him. What he decided to do was to not really improve the economy much, so then there wasn't much to coast on, and that's really throwing a wrench into Donald Trump's plan here. But anyway, yeah, just continuing to deny to people's face the reality that they're facing is a terrible strategy, and good. I want him to be absolutely destroyed in the midterms, and he seems to be cruising towards that very enthusiastically.